Looking for a great place to purchase Dragon Ball Super product? Look no further than Pro Play Games. They carry a wide array of singles and sealed product at amazing prices. Go to www.pro-playgames.com today.
Welcome back to the Mafuba Jar. We have sealed you away for more Dragon Ball Super content. What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be showing you another deck profile, and this time it's going to be around Cell. Now, Cell was a very popular deck at the start of the release of Set 2, and it is one that we've kind of been neglecting to show you guys. It had very dominating success for a long time and still makes quite a good showing at tournaments, but it has lost a little bit of its luster, and it probably will lose a little bit more with the coming set that's due to come out in March. Which is Cross Worlds. We're never going to be seeing that very soon. I believe the release date is March 9th, I think. I want to say March 6th or March 9th, something like that. It's the very beginning of March. But in any case, we're going to show you guys a Cell deck profile, at least my take on it. The interesting thing about Cell as a leader card is that you can play it with a lot of different strategies in mind. Not necessarily a straight Cell deck, but today we're going to be building pretty much a straight Cell deck. But you can make this leader into just about anything, really. It's a really good leader card. We're going to take a look at it here right now. So, Cell, the Unawakened side says, once per turn, place one card from your hand under this card. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and KO that card. So essentially, you're doing what Kale does on a smaller scale by just putting a card under this. Pretty powerful. And then, of course, you know, you're going to awaken when you have 4 or less life, draw 2 cards, flip it over, and then you're going to be looking at Ultimate Life Form Cell, which says, activate main once per turn, draw 1 card from your hand under this card, or place 1 card from your hand under this card, I'm sorry, and draw 2 cards. Then, once per turn, place 2 cards from under this card in the drop area. Choose up to 1 opponent's battle card and KO that card. So, basically, you're building up cards underneath this version of Cell. When you awaken, you're going to take those cards and put them into the drop area and KO any battle card, as long, of course, as it's something that can be KO'd by skills. There are cards out there that can't be KO'd by skills or taken off the field in any way, but in any other card that there is, you're able to do this, and it's pretty cool. So you're going to take all those cards you built up that you've popped 3 or less with, and you're going to start popping other things as well. Placing 1 card from hand underneath the card and drawing 2 cards helps, of course, to replenish that. So no matter what, this is all about just wiping things off the field. Not to mention, it's also about hand control, which you're going to find out here in just a little bit. So this is your leader card. This is what you're going to be building your deck around for Cell. We're going to put this over here in this corner, and we're going to take a look at the deck. So here's the deck I've got put together for you guys. First and foremost, we have 4 copies of Growing Evil Life Form Cell. All the Cell cards are from Set 2, so pretty much everything you need is going to be in Set 2 Union Force. It has Union Absorb. So we're going to take a look at this first. It says, place 1 Android 17 from your hand under this card. Choose up to 1 Cell with an energy cost of 5 or less from your deck and place it on top of this card. Shuffle your deck afterward. So you're basically able to evolve for free by simply placing an Android 17 from your hand underneath this card. This is a 3-drop to get it into play, 15,000 power, which is pretty standard. But then from here, it just gets nuts. Being able to evolve just by placing an Android 17 underneath. And the next card you're gonna see evolves very similarly. So we're gonna take a look at that card next. But for now, we got 4 copies of this one. We'll put that over there. And then we're going to look at the next version of Cell. This is its imperfect form, if you remember from the anime. This is Evolving Evil Life Form Cell. So, it's got a couple of different things we can take a look at here. Let's take a look at the Union Absorb in this one. Place 1 Android 18 from your hand under this card. Choose up to 1 Cell from your deck and place it on top of this card and shuffle your deck afterward. So you're able to put any Cell on top of this one. So it doesn't matter what the energy cost is. And we have a couple of options for that as well. But this card also has Double Strike, and its auto says, when you play this card with Union, draw 1 card and then choose up to 1 opponent's battle card and KO that card. This is all about eliminating cards off the battlefield. It's pretty wild. There's a reason why this deck was really good in the very beginning, and it's still a very strong contender. So, This is a 20,000 power double strike, and those autos and the Union Absorb, just great. I mean, this is probably the best regular rare in any set so far because of that. All right, next up. Now, this can evolve into two different things. I have put in here two different choices. First and foremost, we have this cell, which is a power stealing cell. This is a promo. This is a dash pack promo, number 23. Has a couple of different interesting things about it. First and foremost, it's got double strike, which is always good, 20,000 in double strike. And when you play this card, you may choose one card in your life and add it to your hand. If you do so, your opponent chooses a card in their hand and places it into the drop area. So this helps you self-awaken by picking up a life out of, or a card out of your life and putting it into your hand, and it also makes your hand size, the hand size of your opponent go down in the process. So that's what Power Stealing Cell does. Pretty good. I like it as an option, but that pales in comparison to Perfect Force Cell. We play 4 of these. So so far we have 4 of the Growing Evil Life Form and 5 of the Evolving Evil Life Form, 2 of the Power Stealing Cell, and 4 of Perfect Force Cell. Some people like to play 3 of these, but 4 is probably the optimal for consistency purposes. And this is one of the cards you can choose with the effect of Evolving Evil Life Form Cell. Doesn't matter what it costs. So here's what it says. First and foremost, it is a 30,000 power and double strike. The auto says when you play this card, if your leader card is an android, which by the way, Cell is an android, your opponent must choose cards in their hand until there are only 3 remaining and place the chosen cards in the drop area. So, you're getting rid of your opponent's battlefield along the way. You're popping things left and right, whether it be doing so with your leader card with Cell on this side or Cell on this side. It doesn't really make a difference. And you're also doing the same exact thing with Evolving Evil. When you play it, draw a card and choose up to one opponent's battle card and KO that card. Okay. Then you have Cell, this Cell, hand control. It's just such a good combination, and it's so easy to get this deck going. Once you get out the 3-drop, you just have to have the androids, and you're able to go, boom, Evolving Evil, boom, Perfect Force or Power Stealing, depending on how the matchup goes. Either way, it's so strong. It really is. And if that doesn't make it, if that's not enough, this makes it even better. 4 copies of Terrible Creator Android 20. Now, Dr. Giraud here has a very interesting and great ability for this deck. When you play this card, choose up to 1 battle card, which includes Android and its card name, other than Android 20 from your deck, and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. This is a 2-drop card, 1 green energy and 1 of anything else. This is how you're going to easily get Android 17 and 18 into your hand. Just by tapping 2 energy, you can get 1 into your hand, and you can put it underneath your Evolving or your Growing Evil Life Form Cell, and then Evolving Evil Life Form Cell, and just get this deck going. So, 4 androids outside of Cell and Android 20, aka Dr. Giraud. We've got 3 copies of Twin Brother Android 17. This is the 3-drop. We're not really going to use this for attacking purposes. This is mainly just to get underneath. Well, let's see, this is Android 17. So yeah, this one's going to go underneath this one. Mainly just for doing that. We have 1 in here for attacking purposes, but we'll get to that in a minute. So we got 3 copies of Twin Brother Android 17. The auto says, once per turn when this card attacks, you may place 1 card from your hand into the drop area. If you do so, choose up to 1 Android 18 in your battle area and switch it into active mode. That's not going to be a big focus for us here, but like I said, the main purpose is to get these underneath Cell. Also, this is the one that I'm talking about. Expanding Energy Android 17 has double strike. And also, when this card attacks, draw cards until you have 4 in your hand. So this kind of helps you get your hand acceleration a little bit too, which is good, I think. And it gives you another option other than just the 3-drop Twin Brother Android 17 as well. All right, next up. Also, by the way, if I had the promos, I would play the promos of Android 17 100% over these, but I don't. So they're a little bit pricey, not something that I can really go after, but this is more of the budget build, I guess you could say, because we don't have those promos. The Dash promo Cell are definitely much more affordable than the Android 17 promos, But for now, this is what we're dealing with. So, next up, 4 copies of Twin Sister Android 18. Pretty much does essentially the same exact thing. This is going to be serving the same purpose. Put it underneath Cell to evolve it. When this card attacks, if you put it into the battle area though, when this card attacks, you may place 1 card from your hand in the drop area. If you do, choose up to 1 Android 17 in your battle area and switch it into active mode. Now, I guess you could put one of these out and use it to hit twice with expanding energy. You can just go attack with double strike. Okay, blah, 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 whatever. Play Twin Sister Android 18, boom, get 17 back into the active position. Double strike again. That's a four life attack in that case. Essentially, it's dual attack, double strike. But for the most part, this is Cell Fuel. So 4 copies of that. Now, this is where we start mixing colors a little bit. This is where the deck turns into a blue-green deck. We do have 3 copies of Energy Boosted Majin Buu. This is a bit of help to draw. When you play this card, you draw 1 card. It is a 1-drop, which makes it really good for early on in the game. Also, it makes good for blue energy to use some of our other blue cards, which you'll see here in just a little bit. Put that down there. Now, we also play 3 copies of a field card. Now, this is something you guys haven't seen yet on this particular channel, but there are field cards out there. People who have come over from the Pokemon Evolutionaries channel that we have, you would be best summarizing this up as a stadium card in a way, but it works a little bit differently. So we got 3 copies of Cell's Birth. Now I'm gonna put this card up here for you so you can see it a little bit more. It is a 1-drop. Cell's Birth is a field card. Now, much like the stadium cards, you place this into the battle area, it remains in the battle area until you activate another field. When you do, place this card in the drop area. Now the permanent is, if your leader card is Cell, reduce the energy cost of all Cell in your hand by 2. The auto says when you play Cell, place this card in the drop area. So this is gonna help you get out a very early Cell. This growing evil life form is a 1-drop from your hand when you have Cell's Birth out. It's pretty darn good, if you ask me. Now, it's only really good in the beginning. After that, it just turns into energy, basically. But to get out that very early Cell, 1 energy, Cell's Birth. Great card, great card. Again, you could play up to 4 of these. A lot of people do play 4, some people don't play any at all. It's hard to say how you want to build it, but try it out. 3, I think, is enough most of the time. If you're playing in a best of 3 tournament, you might want to add another one to your sideboard, which a sideboard is a 15-card deck that you can interchange in between matches to basically optimize your deck versus the matchup that you're facing against. But you can only have 15 cards in there, and they have to stay the same 15 cards from the very beginning of the tournament, and you have to list it onto your deck list as well. Most card games have this sideboard. Pokemon does not. So if you're watching from Pokemon, you don't understand that, I completely get it. But that's what a sideboard is, just a 15-card deck that you can interchange with your main deck throughout the tournament. You can only do it in between matches though. All right, so the next card we're gonna look at here is something you guys are probably already familiar with. 4 copies of Furthering Destruction Champa. Now, Champa is a card that you're only going to combo with. When you combo with this card, choose one of your attacking cards. It gains double strike for the turn. Cost you 1 energy to do so. As you can see, the combo cost is 1. And you get 10,000 power and double strike. This is really, really good. Really, really good for putting the pressure on your opponents and can win you games without a doubt. You can give yourself double strike. You can give your leader double strike. You can give your androids, any of these other androids other than this one, you can give them double strike. You can give Majin Buu double strike if you wanted to. I've seen it happen before very early in games to put the pressure on. It's very interesting to watch, but nonetheless, 4 copies of that really can help put that pressure on. Your opponent's gonna be feeling the effects once you start reducing their hand size and you start popping their battle cards anyway, so it's definitely gonna be a rough go of things for decks that aren't prepared for Cell. Next up, we have 3 copies of Tien. So Tien says, at the end of the battle, after you combo with this card from your hand, if your leader card is green, play this card. So basically, you're gonna combo with it. It's cost 2 to combo with it. So it only is 1 less than the cost to actually play it in the first place, but it does it for 1 cheaper, and you can combo, put 10,000 extra power. The activate main says, all right, now let me just put you a scenario here before we talk about the main. You're gonna combo with this card, right? After you combo with it, it goes in the active position. Now it's got an activate main that you can use because now you're back into your main phase, your battle phase is over, and it says, choose one card in your life and place it into the drop area. Choose one card in your life and add it to your hand. Then choose up to one opponent's battle card and KO that card. Once again, popping cards left and right. Tien is really good for self-awakening. Obviously, most decks want to have a way to get their life down to a point where they can awaken. Awakened side of Cell is definitely better than unawakened side. So what better way, right? There you go. 3 copies of Tien helps you get that self-awakening, and you can choose to do this or not. All right, so now we're gonna look at our remaining cards here. This is another combo card. We have 4 copies of Trunks, Protector of Children. Now, this is the green equivalent to Blue's Piccolo. This is another combo card. This is what's known as a super combo card now. It's got an errata. When you combo with this card, if your leader card is green and your life is 4 or less, draw 1 card and add 10,000 to this card's combo for the duration of the turn. So it's a free 10,000 power as long as your leader card is green and your life is 4 or less. Very powerful, and they are restricting these to 4 per deck, 4 super combo cards per deck. We are seeing a second blue version of this card being printed, and obviously we don't want to have so much power in the game that you have 8 options available to you in the blue side of things. It's not really fair, per se. So 4 super combo cards per deck, and this is a super combo card. Finally, we're down to our last blue cards. I mentioned that we might be able to use Majin Buu as energy at some point after we've drawn the first one and played it or whatever. Even if we don't get a chance to play it, it goes in the energy. It allows us to play cards like this. 4 copies of Senzu Bean. All right, so for 1, choose up to 1 of your cards. It gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. Then choose up to 2 of your energy and switch them into active mode. So this is going to give you extra 5,000 power whether you're doing it on the defensive or on the offensive. And you're getting to switch back. Well, you're spending 1 for this. You get an energy back, essentially. You're spending 1 to get back 2, so you're plus 1 energy after you play this card. And an extra 5,000 power. This can help negate an opponent's attack. This can put you over the edge to defend yourself. And it can also add to your boost if you want to go all out and try to overwhelm your opponent towards the end of the game. Senzu Bean, Senzu Bean, Senzu Bean, Senzu Bean. You can keep doing it. But anyways, 4 copies of that. And last but not least, we have 3 copies of Whis' Coercion. This is a negate. You can negate the attack, choose up to 1 of your energy and switch it back into active. So it costs you 1, but you get that energy back. So again, you really only need 1 blue energy available to you during the match to use these cards, and you have your Majin Buu over here anyways. You might end up using a Senzu Bean as an energy too. It's hard to say, you know, how the game's gonna go for you, but you don't need a lot of blue energy, so this is more than enough. Everything else, you're gonna use green energy. Even Champa is colorless because you're using it as a combo card. Everything else is green. So it's a pretty straightforward deck for the most part. It is a little bit complicated in the sense of keeping track of what you're doing, popping cards and hand control and all that other stuff. It's gonna take me a little bit getting used to. I've never played Cell before, I'm not gonna lie. But I did put this deck together based on some other decks that have seen success. And I think this is gonna be pretty good. At least it's a good basic way to start for Cell. Give you guys an idea of how you might wanna build the deck. Give you a starting point if you wanna build a straight Cell deck based on the androids themselves. And who knows? We'll see how things go against whatever deck that Noel decides to build. I don't know what he's gonna build exactly. I remember, oh yes I do, he's first. Okay, yeah, he built the Gotenks deck, that's right. So this is gonna be the matchup, Gotenks versus Cell. I'm not used to going second because on our other channel, I always go first. But yes, that is gonna be the battle next week, next Thursday. Make sure you guys tune in and check it out and see who comes out on top. If it's the brand new draft leader Gotenks deck, or if it's going to be the old school, kind of old school, I guess, based on the age of Dragon Ball Super TCG, will Cell reign supreme. We'll have to see what happens, and we'll see you guys there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe for more TCG content here on the Mafuba Jar, and we will see you guys next Thursday for the battle. And not to mention, we have Super Saiyan Sibling Saturday coming up in a couple of days as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, where Lucas and Noel open up packs together. Always a lot of fun. especially with Lucas's luck, man. It's absolutely unreal the way that he gets good stuff out of these packs. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care. And you have now been released.